Welcome back, everybody, to WCS America Premier League Group B action, where we are getting ready for our lower bracket match, which means it's an elimination match between NesTea and Alicia. Man, elimination. It's a difficult word, Nate. Help me out in the future.
Elimination. Elimination. As Letod would say if he was here.
Letod will be here soon.
Would be eliminated from WCS Europe.
I'm going to let the players know that we are ready to kick off our third best of 3 of the day. And once again, if you just tune in, no, your screen is not broken. We actually have 2 Koreans in our lower bracket match in WCS America. I really think this has been a first ever when we have 2 Koreans and 2 non-Koreans in the group. Of course, it may have happened once where we had 3 Koreans and 1 American in the group, but it has never happened like this, Nate. And it's shocking. It's definitely fun. And this should be a really good series. Of course, Alicia could have just been watching the broadcast. He may have seen how Jim just took out NesTea in the same matchup as we were about to watch. Then again, what do you really take away from that series other than the fact that you're like, A, you can cannon rush heads first? Well, I think Alicia knew that. And B, that NesTea likes to switch into Mutalisk. And I also think that Alicia knows that.
Do you think, seeing that last series, though, Alicia says to himself, maybe I should open up with a Forge? Is there potential for cannon rushing in this match? I mean, that's just like the horrible cheeser in me, is that I really want to see Alicia cannon rush, because I want to see if he can outdo the Great Wall of Jim when it comes to cannons. But
it's one of those options where maybe if he's up 1-0 and he saw that NesTea went head first again, and maybe in the second map he busted out. But with our first map being that wing, I don't think we're going to see something that crazy. I think it's just going to be a Nexus first into Gateway for Alicia. Either way, both players are ready. I'm ready. I'm going to fire up the game, as it is going to be played on that wing once more, where you apparently can cannon rush, even when going Nexus first, which is...
Apparently.
Protoss is a pretty beautiful thing, Nate. When those things are possible, then you just know that you are playing a beautiful race.
And you can cannon rush off of Nexus first. I just can't wait until I go Command Center first, and then Proxy 2 Barracks in the center of the map when the Zerg goes double hatch before pull. That's the next. That's my next meta step right there.
I don't think it's going to go very well for you, Nate.
Hey, man. If Protoss can do it, I got to
Maybe
believe.
if you can just drop 3 Rexes instead of 2. Because you have double orbital command. Either way, we are loaded into that wing for our third series of the day. It's the elimination match between Axiom's Alicia, who is of course our red Protoss, spawning on the left top side of that wing. Once again, guys, had a very good run so far, and this is such an important day for Alicia. We didn't even emphasize enough on how important it is, Nate, because Alicia is currently ranked 22. Or 22nd, I should say, in the WCS ranking. So if Alicia makes a good run in this WCS season, anything is still possible. The sky is the limit. And I hope that the probes are loyal, Nate, because they might be mining their way to BlizzCon.
That's right.
However, he's going to have to go up against the legendary Zerg himself, GEM NesTea, who's a little lower in the WCS ranking. It's unlikely that we'll see the creator of the universe at BlizzCon this year. That would of course be a shock, unless he suddenly comes back, makes it out of this group and wins entire WCS America Season 3, Nate. It would be one hell of a story. I would love it. I think all the StarCraft fans would lose their mind if something like that would happen, but it's difficult, man. There are very, very few of those 2010 heroes still dominating, still winning tournaments.
Yeah.
MC is one of them. I would almost say Bomber is one of them, because Bomber has been around for so long as well. MVP shows us a little bit of brilliance every now and then, but even for MVP, it's been a long time since he won WCS Europe.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get those big pickups lately at all. And NesTea's like, all these people cannon rushing me. I'm ready to do something else. I'm not opening match first.
He's gonna go very quick pull with an extractor, so I'm expecting a ridiculous speedling opening over here. There's a gateway in the main base. Now this can actually be very interesting. I will always remember this legendary game where I think Live did this opening against Parting on Belshire Vestige, and for some reason, like, Parting survived, and I was just like...
It might have been Star Station, but I know, I know what you're saying.
The game that I'm thinking of is Belshire. Maybe it happened once more, and I just couldn't believe, because I always died when this happened, and it was just like, why would Zergs ever open up like this? It's so stupid. This doesn't make any sense. It's going to be a crazy amount of speed links, so Sim City is going to be really, really important. But I think the game on Belshire back then was a Wings of Liberty game, so I don't think we had Photon Overcharge.
Yeah, I was thinking of Heart of the Storm. That was like the weird one. Like the game speed got slowed down or something when Party made the hold on Star Station. He had like a sentry hold position and like the only choke open.
Either way, it's very important for Alicia that he's scouting. It's also very important that he lets this Zealot finish up. I do not believe in a world where Alicia can keep this Nexus alive. No. No. Right, Nate? No.
I don't play Protoss, man. You tell me. Can he do it?
No.
This is tricky.
I say that I don't think he can. He's going to scout it. I mean, the Mothership Core is going to help out a lot. If he ever gets Photon Overcharge, that's going to help out a lot. He will have a Zealot, but it's going to be so difficult. NesTea needs to make a few more Zerglings, though. I guess he's waiting for speed to finish up.
Yeah, this is still going to be tricky. He's got a Zealot patrolling in the natural ramp. And he sees the Zerglings. He sees the first of them. He's going to start to push these probes away, of course. He has no interest in fighting that Zealot.
Speed is going to be ready at 5 minutes sharp. That's an incredibly quick speed. And now we see nothing but Zerglings on the production tab. Speed is already ready now. She's going to start working on a couple of these probes. And Alicia is like, oh, come on. It's really going to be one of these games. I'm not sure if I want to deal with this. I don't think he's going to have a choice.
Yeah, he's getting rid of a pylon block. Not able to get that many pylons down, though. But all the Zerglings are actually really far away. NesTea's, he's finished his natural expansion.
Yeah, which just means more larva.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you can actually produce so many Zerglings of just like 14, 15 drones. Zerglings, of course, very, very cheap units. NesTea actually is going to build a couple of drones behind this. So he's going to try to do this with 22 speedlings. It's a very scary number, and I guess it's going to be good enough. I think Alicia's not even going to bother. He might start chipping away at a couple of these Zerglings, but he knows that it's going to be very, very difficult for him to keep this Nexus alive. So good opening here by NesTea. Finally, he will get the better end of this early game madness in this matchup. Ooh, the Zerglings almost squeezed through. For a second, it looked like the one Zergling was pushing the other one through, but
yeah, they were trying.
Yeah.
A couple of them even get stuck inside there.
Like, step on my shoulder, Brody. Jump.
Go for it. Don't be a hero.
No. If I'm Alicia, what I hate most about all of this, Nate, is that it's going to be so annoying for you to actually take this Nexus again. Because when you send out a probe, the Zergling is going to jump on top of it. If you send too many gateway units down, and suddenly you get surrounded, like you straight up lose the game. So it's really hard, because of course we can see that NesTea is droning up behind this. But right now, if you're Alicia, there's absolutely no way for him to scout. He can't send out a probe because there are speedlings on the map, etc, etc. So this is a really, really scary and annoying position to play from as a Protoss. He's going to try to get the Nexus, and he will actually get it down at his first try. So that's already a lot better than I would have done. Now these speedlings are going to work on it. Will they be able to force a cancel? Yes, they will.
That is so frustrating. Starts it up again.
That's a little bit more in line with my games.
Yeah. Well, I believe you could hold the 10 pool speed, Roddy.
Yeah, if I open one base.
So he's got evolution chambers coming in now. NesTea starting to take his gas. I guess more of his gas at least. And he's got his third base about to finish up. This is a bit more in line with where a Zerg player wants to be relative to a Protoss player at least. You talk about playing against Jim. They're almost always on the same bases at every stage of the game, which really is quite bad for the Zerg players. So NesTea's trying to just wrestle a little bit of control from this map.
No, this is really a fantastic position for NesTea. There's really no other way to look at it. He has a massive economic advantage. He's on 41 drones against 25 probes. I don't even know how to describe how big that advantage is, Nate. Do you know the Eiffel Tower? That big, basically. Maybe bigger. No,
the Eiffel Tower is pretty big.
Yeah, like the tower in Abu Dhabi. Or in Dubai it is.
The really tall hotel one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not the hotel one. Not the one with the helicopter pad. You know, and you like the actual tower. The tallest building in the world.
Oh.
That's how big this advantage is, Nate.
That's pretty big.
Or the Guangzhou TV tower.
That one I'm not familiar with.
It's very big too. It's like 600 meters. Would be the biggest. Would be the tallest building in America. Now you know.
Sick life, man.
Okay, so now Alicia's just going to run across the map and try to put on some gateway pressure, but it's going to be really difficult to make this work. There are 9 roaches on the production tab. There is Burrow on the way, and even though, yes, some people might think like, hey, there's a lot of force fields, right? Yeah, there's a lot of force fields, but there's like barely any DPS in this Protoss army. The Spinecrawl is going to finish up as well, and even the Spines and drones are going to push this back for now. NesTea already at 84 supply, and the moment that Burrow finishes up, Nate, he really shouldn't lose a whole lot of roaches.
No, I mean, without detection.
Oh my god, he just fired up a drone. This drone. This is the confident drone.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay, drone. Everything's going to be alright. We're all going to make it out alright.
As long as he doesn't fire up 16
drones. Oh, look at
drones.
this! They preemptively burrowed.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the Mothership, of course, saw it.
It's a trap.
I actually don't think that he did see it. NesTea's supply blocked heavily. He just fired up 4 Overlords. Now he can fire up 9 more Roaches. Here come the Roaches once more. A lot of poisons go down. Is he going to burrow them one by one? And now he's just fighting for now, and now he's going to burrow.
Yeah, burrow!
Alicia's like, damn it!
It's like, well, now I can't kill your Roaches.
And all these sentries...
You seem to have caught me off guard, sire, and now these sentries will die.
Yes, all the sentries super exposed. Roaches standing on top of your sentries is never a good sign as a Protoss player, and even though Alicia's trying to make this work, he knows that he can't possibly make this work.
Can you believe NesTea just put Alicia 1 game away from being eliminated in a group where
I'm actually shocked.
I thought he was going to win?
I think there are a lot of people who picked Alicia as their fantasy pick as well in the ESL Fantasy Gaming League. Alicia to win this group, Nate. And I have to be honest, I was sitting here 2 days ago filling in my team, and I was like, Alicia, Jim. It's like, I gotta go with my boy Jim. But I was actually not convinced by it either. But then I thought like, Jim's pretty damn solid in PvP. I think he will be able to win the winners match. However, right now, Axiom's Alicia just 1 map win away from being eliminated. And you could almost say his dreams of making it to BlizzCon could be shattered.
Yeah, this season is suddenly looking really tough for the Axiom boys.
Yeah,
Greg being knocked out in Challenger by Shauna. And it's these Chinese players that are actually knocking him out. Yeah. Surprisingly enough.
Ryong being knocked out in Challenger as well by Maxset.
Yeah. No, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It was Ryong against Maxset. Not a Chinese Protoss.
That's tough.
These Chinese Protoss players are single-handedly destroying esports.
Just taking over, man.
Either way, Axiom is, Alicia's not done yet, and of course Axiom still has hard to root for as well, and they did recently have some success with Impact qualifying for the Red Bull Battlegrounds Global, which is happening over here in Southern California as well, in just a little over the 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's on the 8th, man. Yeah. We're very close.
Actually, just like a little over a week, man. Like, it's going to be a great week for us, like 12 days straight. It's like, yay! At least we had our Monday off.
Lots of StarCraft.
Anyway, Alicia's not done yet. He definitely has what it takes to bring it back, and perhaps just has to go for a safer opening, as NesTea was fed up with the Protoss players cheesing him, and he showed us, Nate, that Zerg too can cheese.
Cheese back.
Anyway, the players are ready. The second map is going to be played on King Sejong Station. Alicia's tournament life on the line, and perhaps even his hopes to making it to BlizzCon. Of course, if he would go to a DreamHack and he would end up winning that, yeah, then maybe he could still potentially make it, but it's going to be so extremely hard to do something like that. While another semi-final or a quarterfinal for Alicia, normally in WCS America, you would say that's very doable.
Yeah, Alicia's the player you expect to go far. He's had good results all year long in WCS America. And I'd be surprised. I honestly, this is a huge upset if he loses. If he goes out, especially now, 0-2 to NesTea in the losers match.
Yeah, and above all, in this group as well, we went over it a little bit before, and Alicia is just a very strong Protoss. And I think if he looked at this group, he's like, yeah, that's pretty damn doable. Like, I can do this. He avoided the absolute heavy hitters of WCS America, the Polts, the Bombers, the Jadongs, the Yuns, the Heroes. He didn't have any of those, and then normally you really expect Alicia to make it out of a group like this. He's not down and out yet, but he's going to have to win 2 games straight and then 1 more best of 3 to keep his dreams alive of making it to the round of 16 and above all, of course, make it to BlizzCon.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go, though. Climb his way back from the bottom, from the depths in the bottom right position of King Sejong Station. It is the red Protoss from Axiom, Alicia. And there's going to be a low ground pylon, Kev. Maybe we're going to see some cannon rush shenanigans.
Over here on the left top side of the map, we have the creator of the universe himself, a multiple GSL time champion. It is, of course, NesTea. Still doing the Overlord trick. Once upon a time, they asked NesTea why he's doing it. He said he just likes it.
Old habits die hard.
It's gonna send out a drone, by the way. It's a 2-player map. Ooh. It's something we see quite often.
I love how many Zergs drone scout on this map, because so many Protoss players try to get that forge up. And NesTea is, he's not the guy that's too shy to build a hatchery in your natural either way. And it is a forge opening, so this is a very smart play by him, because now he'll know.
I don't think he should do that, though. I don't think he should be building a hatchery. If I was him, I'd just drop my spawning pool and try to keep it simple, try to keep it...
Seeing that probe leave, that should be enough.
Yep. Oh, NesTea. Change it. NesTea, go back.
Oh, no. Okay. He's like, he realizes, like, wait a second.
He's like, yep, that is a forge. Can confirm there is a forge.
He wrote a book identifying forges. Yep,
Yep,
it's a forge.
Looks the same, clicks on the circle. Yeah, it reaches the diameter
So,
that I expect.
I think my client's in the right language. Just, I'm not accidentally reading gateway in the wrong, French or something. There's at Call Me Metabee tweets, "Hi mom, hi dad, go NesTea, but Alicia's cool too, hashtag WCS." Well,
I'm great that we have such tweets.
not a bad time to be a NesTea fan, I have to say. Especially if he knocks out Alicia. This pylon block is frustrating. Hey, is that even blocked where the hatchery can go?
Yeah, I think just barely. It's like one corner of the pylon is blocking the hatchery.
That's really frustrating.
So NesTea is going to expand over here on the top side of the map. It's going to be very difficult for Alicia to do something about this, especially with the spawning pool already finished up and a couple of Zerglings that are on the way right now. Overlord, of course, is scouting everything on the south side of the map, Nate. He will see the gateway go down. He will see the pylon being wiped in. So everything is very standard.
Yeah, nothing really crazy. And as that gateway is going along with the gases to get taken, this pylon isn't going to be able to do too much, as we're not going to have those epically long delays like we've had before because there's no cannon to support this. Who do you like that's come out on the top of the way that this opener played out? Because NesTea...
Zerg.
For sure?
Yeah, I always prefer Zerg. If it's just a 15 pool against an early forge, a lot of minerals were sacrificed as well by this probe scout. That probe has been hovering around for a while. He dropped the pylon, but NesTea just ignored it and expanded over here. So you gotta have to. It's still very standard, Nate. It's not like something very drastic has happened and we say like, oh my god, Alicia's in so much trouble. That's definitely not the case. But on paper, I just like this opening for a Zerg play a little bit more, and I think most Protoss players would agree with me. Zerg players would probably say that they're still behind, but this is racial bias. Of course, Protoss opinions way heavier than Zerg opinions.
Well,
they have lost all their right to speak after Brutal the Infestor.
those memories still scar people.
Nah, it's very even. Like nothing really big happened, but I think NesTea is very pleased with it, and I think Alicia is a little tiny bit frustrated that he couldn't have done more with the opening that he went for. Because in the end of the day, if nothing happens, then he could have just gone Nexus first, and it could have just played out like that.
Yeah, probe comes in, confirms. Okay, you're taking your actual natural too. 3 hatcheries set up from NesTea. Not terribly surprising.
As you can see, the work account for a 5-minute and 50-second game is a little closer than you would like it in PvZ as well. Normally up to like 6:30, 6:45 Protoss is quite a few workers ahead. Then eventually, the real rotations of all the drones kick in, and then Zerg will overtake Protoss. But if they're already even in workers at like the 6-minute mark or even before that, that's normally not a good sign. Like NesTea is going to overtake Alicia in the work account at 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And if you take a look at some of the other PvZs that we cast, you'll see that normally Protoss gets overtaken a little later than this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nice tweet. I like this guy's Twitter handle, @PylonelySC2. Pylonely. Says, please Axiom Alicia, my fantasy team stands behind you. I feel like a lot of people's fantasy teams stand behind Alicia for this group.
I definitely think that most people were going with either Jim or Alicia, as Alicia, of course, such a steady force in WCS America. Not just this year, but even last year. Last year, he too made a quarterfinals appearance once. Round of 16 appearance multiple times. And even this year, he's been one of the most consistent players. I think only Hyun has been more consistent than Alicia. You could say Bomber as well, as Bomber made it to a finals and to a quarterfinal, and Alicia to a semi-final and a quarterfinal, but still a very solid year so far, and that is why Alicia is so high up in the WCS ranking. He went for a Stargate opening, by the way. We got kind of distracted over there, but very standard. The Overlord did see the Stargate, so this Oracle should not achieve all that much, but if he can get like 3 drone kills, Nate, and keep the Oracle alive, he can be satisfied.
Yep, 1 drone, 2, 3, okay. So this isn't terrible, and he also gets a bit of scouting information. He'd ideally like to see that this lair is starting to get booted up. But he's not a huge stage. He's going to go straight for a 3rd base. That is a very interesting 3rd base position to take.
Yeah, that as well. The Zerglings were working on this debris at first, so Alicia just said, alright, thank you. I'm just going to break it down myself. Now NesTea is going to fire off 1-1, but for the Zerglings, as Malia carapace is being, or Zerg ground carapace is being upgraded, so that's very interesting.
Oh, these things should see this 3rd. Oh, NesTea.
Oh my god.
Them back.
Did he somehow miss it?
Yeah, he missed it. He's very close to spotting it.
I think that Alicia is going to play Skytals. Like, he's adding 2 more gateways. It could also just be a robo, but in the old days, Alicia loved playing Void Ray Sentry, so don't be super shocked if he throws down 2 more Stargates. Then I really wonder how this Zergling style of NesTea is going to go up. 3 more gateways being added already. Could also just be for the Sim City. We'll see. It's very hard to say right now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have that third base be vulnerable. Twilight Council.
Yeah, so it's a different style. Could still be Charge Lord Archon and then into a few more Void Rays. NesTea, of course, is going to get this Spire. He's also getting the Roach Warren, so he's kind of leaving the options open. Then we do see that second Stargate go down already, Nate, so it could be Charge Lord Archon, Sentry, Void Ray. None of those units extremely good against Mutalisk. Some people might say Archons are. Yeah, in a straight-up fight they are, but Mutalisk are quite a bit faster than
What
Archons.
Zerg player will fight your Archons against Mutalisks?
It's like one of those guys. No, it's just one of those fights you rather avoid. You don't want to take it. Void Ray is actually going to work on this fourth base. This is something that Alicia used to do in the old days. He would send a Mothership Core as well, so he could always recall it out. He did this like so many times on Tal the Ream Altar, and for some reason it always worked. And when I tried it, like all my Void Rays just died. No cancel by NesTea.
Wow.
Come on, NesTea. Oh, that's a little bit sloppy.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
Those are mistakes you don't want to make.
Oracle still running around. +1 upgrades are about to complete for the Zerglings, and I mean there are a lot of Zerglings on the map. But are there enough to break this third? I don't think so, Kev. He's actually got almost a full wall set up. Oh, there is a hole in the mineral line. That's quite nice.
Yeah, but forces will go down because NesTea's gonna get a couple of probes over here, and that is nice. But he's gonna end up losing quite a few Zerglings as well. This was still a successful run, by don't get me wrong.
Wow,
Killing.
yeah, I mean he pretty much cleared out the whole mineral line.
Killing 10, 12 workers with just a few Zerglings, that is fantastic. However, how is he gonna deal? Okay, 9 Corruptors. 10.
Corruptors versus Void Rays.
I don't know, Nate.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I'm confident in this choice, but
like it can work if your economy is like 50 times better than it is of your Proto. So then you can just like, then you have so many Corruptors that you can just fly in, a lot of them will fall, but they pretty much one-shot a Void Ray. And then after a couple of volleys, the Void Ray count is dwindling. This is a bizarre, it's a pretty bizarre choice. Now the Oracle will drop Revelation, there is a Hallucinated Phoenix as well. So Alicia is aware of all these Corruptors, and then he's like, okay, so I guess I just built more Void Rays? Well, I was kind of planning to do that anyway, so alright, we'll see how this one plays out.
yeah, I mean he's got the economy to just churn out endless amounts of Void Rays with this 3-base setup.
10 Corruptors can kill 4 Void Rays, I think. But 10 Corruptors are going to absolutely get annihilated by 6 Void Rays. Okay, now we have the Mutalisk on the way as well. That sort of makes sense. He gets some Mothership Core.
That's not bad. No post overcharge at that third base now. Oracle runs out, wants to tag that army. It does not.
A little bit sloppy there. Of course, the nerfs starting to play their part as well now. As Alicia has so much on the line. He's making more and more Void Rays. This Mutalisk follow-up by NesTea, that's much more in line with what we thought that was going to happen, Nate. I don't think, does he know about all the Stargate? He knows about 2, he doesn't know about the third one. However, so far it's nothing but Void Rays.
You know what? This fake out is actually pretty good because he's like, oh yeah, I guess I'll just build more Void Rays, but now there's Mutalisks on the map. And are just Mutas gonna cut it against this? He's moving in on the Void Rays, he's coming in. The Muta's taking the first couple of shots from the Void Rays, but oh man, they are prismatically aligning these Corruptors to death.
Yes, it was not the worst there in the world for NesTea. Look at his income as well. He has 89 drones, 2,400 minerals a minute, 1,200 gas a minute, or at least close to it. He's going to jump with Zerglings. This time there won't be prismatic alignment. There are a few Phoenixes to help out against these Mutalisks though. That's really making a difference. But I think most of the Void Rays are going to fall over here. Just a few Corruptors remaining. Guardian Shield helping out quite a bit in that battle as well.
Yeah, not bad. He's these couple warps and a couple of Stalkers, which are going to help to poke away these Corruptors, but kills another Phoenix. And is he just going to stick on just Mutalisk Corruptor for a while? Yeah. He's letting these Corruptors just kind of die out here.
And Zerglings with the 2-2 upgrades, they can really make a big difference in fights as well. They can help out so much. Because like, normally you don't really want to do this against the Protoss player that's on 3 Stargates, but what is most important is that NesTea has an absolutely ridiculous economy, and it's way... You know, it's way better than you normally have in this phase in the game. So even when he starts trading away a few Mutalisk and Corruptors, it can still do the job for him. But he's gonna have to be really careful because there is an Archon on the map. And if we have a few Archons on the map and those Archons start working on one of these bases of NesTea, then things can get really complicated again. It's a pretty cool game so far, Nate. Tournament live on the line for Alicia.
Yep, he's moving forward, getting closer and closer to that 4th base, or I guess 4th, 5th, whatever you want to call it, of NesTea. Towards the center of the map. And I mean, with Archons and Zealots, I have a really hard time believing that just Zerglings on the ground are going to cut it for NesTea. Baneling Nest, I mean, even if Banelings did the trick, he would need a lot of time to get Baneling speed, and I'm not sure that that's a time that Alicia is going to allot for NesTea to get.
Just a few Banelings is already going to help incredibly much to blow up these zealots. The Banelings can actually be a pretty brilliant decision, also because there is no detection on the map. Now, not that there is any burrow, but burrowed Banelings can actually be really, really sick against all these zealots, because zealots do kind of clump up. And let's not forget, Nate, that those Banelings will have +2 attack as well, so that helps a little bit.
Yeah. I guess I'm not terribly used to seeing this. It's going to be interesting. He's moving in on this army. Force fields are trying to lock him out. The Banelings are getting close to those zealots. And, oh, Roddy, you weren't lying when you said that they wreck those zealots. He just annihilates his whole force.
Zealots indeed not very strong against well-upgraded Banelings. Alicia still has a few units to fall back, and during all this he did take out one of the bases, so it's not all bad news, but Alicia really needs to keep this base alive. His Phoenix is trying to work on the Mutalisk, but the Corrupt is doing such a good job in zoning these Phoenixes away.
More Banelings!
Oh god.
NesTea's bringing his Banelings in! He's gonna kill the rest of these zealots! Not quite the normal NesTea Banelings you'd expect, but they get the job done.
Yeah, they're gonna blow up a lot of probes over here as well in the mineral line. More Phoenixes are falling against these Corruptors. NesTea doing a really good job in making sure that these Phoenixes can't work on the Mutas, and I think that this is going to be it, Nate. Wow, what a surprise.
What a game from NesTea. GG. Alicia has been eliminated from WCS America.
Wow.
Premier League for Season 3. Wow.
That is a pretty big shock. By far the highest ranked player currently in the WCS ranking of this Group B, Alicia, the player that made it to the semi-finals of WCS America Season 1, and I think was even one map away from making it to the overall finals of Season 1.
Yeah.
As I believe back then he lost 3-2 against Revival.
Yep.
It was really close. In the end, he was able to, still have a top 4 finish. It's fantastic. And even last season, Alicia made it to the quarterfinals and lost it in a nail-biting series against Bomber. Still got all those WCS points for making to the quarterfinals. This time, the round of 32 is the final station for him. That's a shocker, Nate. I'm very shocked. I don't really know what to say. Axiom is going through some difficult times. Their players are just not performing in the same way as they were before in WCS America. They still have Hard. Hard will come in action, I believe, next week or the week after that.
Yes.
Hard is, of course, an absolutely fantastic Terran. I love watching him play against Zerg now, so I kind of hope that he will be carrying the Axiom flag with pride, because there have been times where we had 4 Axiom players in the round of 16. Now, at best case scenario, we'll get 1.
Really crazy turn of events. And that leaves our winners match to come next, guys. We're going to have Aigaz, the Root Terran player from Australia, facing off against Jim, the Chinese Protoss. And I think this is an interesting match because no matter how good Jim is, he has one of the most predictable styles in this matchup.
That is totally true, Nate. Then again, we also said that when he went up against Tasia, what happened in that series? I mean, okay, it wasn't the Storm macro well-upgraded Zerg Protoss army Protoss army that you normally see in the matchup, but it was different than what we expected. Either way, we're gonna find out after this very small break what is going to happen when an Australian Terran is gonna go up against a perhaps predictable Chinese Protoss player.